Yes, I was born in, some of you know Maritzburg, the township. There's a rural area next to Maritzburg called Pampumuza. That's where I was born. And I grew up in Ashdown Township, as well as in Pendle, a rural area. Ashdown Township, when the fight between IFP and ANC was strong, UDF happened in the township. During the day, you pass each other greeting. When the sun goes down, you become enemies. You can't be on the street, you get killed. So the violence was that rough at the time. So when my parents felt that the violence is this rough, they'll ship me to the rural areas in Pendle so that I'm protected from this. And when it's a bit quiet, they'll bring me back. So I ended up changing a lot of schools as I grew up because of that, moving up and down. So I was not necessarily drawn into the politics of things, although there were friends that I lost that I knew at the time, but I was always protected and removed from that. So I never got to be exposed much into what was happening in terms of the violence. Yes, I knew about the MK. We study history at school and we learn about things and we see things. And then I happened to join the service, just at the dawn of democracy. When I joined, I went to the college on the 22nd of June, 1993. When I finished training, I was deployed in Potchefstroom. I started in December. We arrived there in December, middle of the night in Potchefstroom, and I started working there. The Potchefstroom was dominated by, in the main, IFP, which honorable member spoke about earlier in relation to the homelands that were there in the past. So it was Zulu police had armed IFP members with a lot of guns, be it in Nduna is given a gun, be it a protector of the Nduna, he has a gun, and many others. Honorable Mngango might maybe share more details about some of it. But there were too many firearms that the IFP, that the IFP members were in position of. So here I am arriving here and I'm given a task to ensure that there is public order, there is safety. So we arrived and I work for the unit internal stability. And when I get into this unit, I'm confronted, as I experienced when I arrived in Pretoria, in the same room we sleep with the Tsonga speakers, the Pedi speakers. I had no clue about how even to greet in those languages. So I had to adjust there. You get people that end up giving nicknames because it's difficult for them to pronounce your name. Same thing happened in Potchefstroom when I arrived there. One of my commanders, a white guy, could not pronounce Mkhwanazi. Even today, majority of the members in this house, if I ask them to pronounce Mkhwanazi, they will put an A after M. They will say Mkhwanazi, and there's no A, it's Mkhwanazi, MKH. So because of the struggle of pronunciation, he chose the shortcut. He just called me MK. And I'm brand new at the unit. It is December 1993. This unit wear camouflage. And in few months down the line, in April, the African National Congress win elections. And here comes this young man dressed in camouflage and is confronted with the situation on the ground, where the IFP, majority of them, are in the half of the village of the ANC people. This group of about 20 boys of ANC, unarmed, that are confronted by this group of IFP with guns. And one had to act. Unfortunately, my action angered my commanders because my action was against the IFP leadership that were already in the territory of the ANC people without taking political sides. So they got to know me. They got to know that person caused this problem and it caused one of the IFP person to be injured at the time through my action. And then fast forward a few months later, I happened to be in another gathering where a similar fight is happening, area of Trilima, Mvuchini, in those areas. And when we are there, and I'm sitting in this police car in Nyala, I'm not getting out because the place is crowded. I decided to sit inside. I opened the hatch on top and I was standing there. The doors are closed. One of the members asked me to open the door because he wanted to get inside the car. He made a mistake. He's a white guy again. He calls me with a nickname in the center of the IFP, armed people. So he called me by nickname, a nickname that when it's pronounced in such a setting, the people on the ground don't believe that it is initials of your surname. They believe that you are a member of a political party. He said, MK, please open the door for me. Everyone else turned around to look at this MK, and they saw me. And others identified me as a person who has caused trouble a couple of months back. They all came in numbers to that car. I will not explain how I responded to it, but I responded to stay alive. But from that day, I was banned from working in the IFP area in Potchefstroom by my command. No. Because of the first initials of my surname MK. So they associate me with Umkhonto Wesizwe. It branded me bad.